Welcome back. I'm glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV. It's fast approaching the top of the hour of 9 o'clock. Let's ensure that we take note of our critical developments, especially in building capacity for science teachers across the country. The importance of STEM education in national development is less talked about aspect, and when it comes to Vision 2040 that the government is touting, it's a cornerstone. So today we're going to track the direction it's taking, and with us is the head of science and innovations at River Flow International, Stuart Nabaasa. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Great. Give us an overview of the partnership between the Ministry of Education and Sports and River Flow International since 2021 and what you have been able to achieve.
Thank you very much. Like you've said, my name is Stuart, and I head innovations and science at River Flow International. And we come from a point of view, as I come to your question, we come from a view where, for example, I take back people to how they studied. I'm going to a situation where a teacher would come to class, for example, they write notes on the chalkboard, we copy those notes into our books, and the intention of those notes is to read them.
Yes.
And then I bring in the concept of waking up very early.
Winter.
Very cold. Then late in the evening, preps and extensions. Then when these children have failed to cram, some teachers even go an extra mile to give them some punishments for not cramming the concepts. And we are talking about science. Therefore, you would find that when children are fearing science, like that phobia of science is hard, you come to senior one, everyone is telling you science is hard, chemistry is hard, you know, all those things. Then you also come to another situation where when these children have completely failed to cram these concepts, then the teacher goes ahead and cheats exams and you enable withholds the what? The results. Now, when we looked at all these challenges surrounding this cramming science, and then later we also have other children neglecting science, they are going into arts, and I'm not going to go to those statistics. And all these reasons bring to the simple statistics which shows that only less than 20% of the learners who actually enter into science lessons are able to even acquire a credit, which has been happening for a long time. So how would we partner with the Ministry of Education? Since 2021, when we looked at all these challenges, we decided to develop a model where learners do not only read, do not only listen, but they also see and do, so that the knowledge they acquire, they are able to apply it. So we developed a lot of innovations, but among which the one that has been able to stand out, especially at primary level, has been the primary science kit, which since 2021, Ministry has been giving to schools, and so far we have 1,336. We want to thank the Ministry of Education with the leadership of Mama, Janet Museveni, and our Excellency for actually supporting science, and we are also coming up with different programs.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Can we talk about those different programs? And
Thank
how
you
they
very much.
align to the greater aspect of making sure theory-based methods are put to the side?
Yes.
For learners to get exactly what they need.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, when science is theoretical, right now as a country we are grappling with a lot of challenges that would actually be solved by the simple knowledge that these learners are learning in class, right away beginning from primary level. You would find that in all food processes, all food industries or agriculture, animal production, they're even actually taught from primary level. But you find the primary 7 child cannot even rear a chicken. You know, those are the things. So I come to the programs. So after immediately we have finished innovating these materials, the intention of these materials is one, to create curiosity. We want these children to stop fearing science. I know outside there is someone who is remembering how they used to hide during a science lesson, during a chemistry lesson, during a physics lesson, and during a biology lesson. And they are still there thinking how the chemistry teacher would abuse them, that for you even can't pass this. And that is the cycle that we want to break. We want to break that cycle so that we have a generation of learners who love science, who enjoy learning science, but also who would love and who are able to use this knowledge of science they have used to solve the challenges that we face in our country so far today. Okay. So what of the programs we are doing, one of them is give them the materials that support the practical teaching. So that these learners, they are not only hearing where the teacher comes and gives them notes and these notes are supposed to be rehearsed, but instead they are actually they are listening to this knowledge, they are seeing this knowledge, but they are also applying it. And then in that case, you can't achieve that unless you have a teacher who is capable of doing that. So recently we've been partnering with the Ministry of Education. After Ministry of Education gave out these materials, for example, to primary schools, which we call science kits, and we have been now training these teachers, district after a district, because we have already said 1,336 schools are already using this approach. Use UPE schools. And then now we are on a journey with the Ministry of Education. They are supporting us and we are now training them. What are we training them on? On how to effectively use these materials to help learners see science, to help these learners to do science. And one of the key things that I would love to tell people is that people think we would need to do this program. We need to know that ministry is at the hand push towards that vision of the country of promoting science and technology, which is one of the key drivers of our economy.
All right.
Yes.
You spoke about the science kit.
Yes.
And what does this contain exactly and how is it used?
Thank you very much. Now, this science kit, it is just a simple mini laboratory, I would say, in most of the primary schools, if not all, in Uganda.
Laboratory.
Yes.
Wow.
There are no laboratories, unlike in secondary schools where you find a laboratory.
Yep.
So we are looking at these teachers that are grappling and struggling on how to teach practically because of the lack of the material. So we give them the materials that they cannot easily find in their environment together in this science kit.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. That one does allow for especially those that are in far-flung areas.
Yes, yes.
And where facilities are non-existent to be part of the whole arrangement. But does this align well with the teacher to learner ratio? Because when it comes to competence-based learning, every facilitator, as they are called now, not necessarily teachers,
yes,
has to understand the learner from their point of view, how
yes,
they see the world, how they see these concepts. Does it relate well, learner or teacher to learner ratio?
Thank you very much. When it comes to a teacher-learner ratio, you see, the normal one would be you have 1 teacher to 60 learners in Uganda, but which is actually in most, if not all of the schools, is not the case. You find in one of my classes, I used to teach 120 learners in one stream. So you'll see that is ×2 of the ratio we are talking about. So usually the same thing like teachers, you'll find that the ratio is not for the teacher. Also the materials, you are likely to find that these materials are not actually equal to the ratio you're supposed to have. But these are one of the things that we address when we are doing these trainings across the districts. We help teachers to know, for example, if I have one item that is supposed to be used by 20 people, how can I effectively use these items so that I am able to achieve the intended outcome of using these materials? And that is one of the things that we do in our trainings. And we don't do it only in youth schools, youth and UPE schools. Okay. We also have private schools that are coming on. I know there are very many private teachers who are on our teacher support platforms that are seeing us, who can actually confirm that we work with them. So basically it is a general idea, a general program that we have been implementing, not only in 2021, but right away when River for International started in 2011.
Okay, very quickly as we enter the final bend of this particular discussion, I'll be remiss if I don't ask how the budget as read by the minister last week aligns the works of stakeholders like River Flow International in entrenching STEM education, especially if the competence-based curriculum rollout is anything to go by, and how best you are helping the ministry. Do you have any concerns? Are you okay with what was allocated? Not to put you on the spot. But
thank you very much. You know, with I think our country is like any other family. You find you have very many needs, and yet the income is very low. So we would say we are still finding out other means and other ways of reaching out to these teachers, these schools, and our education system, boosting it, irrespective of the budget. And that's what I've been doing.
Stuart Nabaasa, Head of Science and Innovations at Riverflow International, many thanks for sharing with us. What is happening as building capacity for science teachers is across the country.